In this third video, let me show you, or let me illustrate to you the layout of this web page, and then I will also acquaint you with the important elements, the components that we need to work with later so that we can be able to manipulate the content of our website. Now, in here, you would see that this part here is somewhat our title, obviously. And yet, you will also find this portion here. If you try to check closely, these are list of items, and then they are also divided into some compartments like the home with these elements, meet your teacher with this content, more stuff with this content. So, and you will also notice this light color here, light blue. So this is actually the content section, meaning to say what is being displayed here are previews. I mean, let me repeat, previews of what's the content in here, meaning these are all the options whenever we select one, like class announcement or class calendar, reading list, useful links. So basically, it will be displayed here. For now, what you can see here are items we I mean, not us, but the developers of the template decided to be previewed here. Meaning it's like a cover page of a newspaper where we can see some headlines. So these are the items that we somehow appear like headlines in our website. But our website is not only limited into these contents. Now, if you want to find out, oh, wait, let me show you first to make it clear. Let me show you. I actually grabbed the screen. I just pictured the screen a while ago and then made some outline so that you can be able to see the layout. So this is what I'm referring to. So as you can see, this whole portion here is our header, and this one here at the left is what we call the options panel, and this one here, the big one here, is what we consider the content area. But you will also notice that even in the content area, it's been divided into some compartments. Like there's a top portion and lower portion, and then in the lower portion, it's been divided into two. So how do we exactly do that? Later, I will demonstrate it in my upcoming videos. But for now, let me just show this to you. This is since this is what we've selected, so this is what we've got. Now, if we want, since these are all headlines, if we want to know the details of each of the headlines, so we have to either click it if you want to display it in this panel, or perform right click and open it in a new tab. So if we do this, if we click it in the new tab, it will be displayed here. Actually, I did a while ago. But if you want to click it here, so click it here. So the content is actually displayed in that panel. So as what I've said earlier, that this portion here is actually dedicated for the content. Now, let me go back. But sometimes I would like to preserve this picture here. So what I do normally is right click and perform new tab, in which open link in a new tab. So which consequently it would give me like this. So it is open in different tabs. So if I don't like it anymore, I just simply click it, and then I'm back to the original menu. Now, next thing we're gonna do is that if you try to read this, if you can, actually this is sample text. What you can see here are sample text only. They are incomprehensible. But now, since this is a template, of course, so these are all the contents. There are options given to us. It's either we're gonna make use of this one by way of clicking this and then performing edit, meaning if I click edit, I am pertaining to modify this one. I put in some contents and change the picture. That would also be okay. Or we have also options of actually deleting this later and replace it completely with our newly created web page or pages. So now, before going to that, before this can further here, let me introduce to you some important components here at the top. This first button here is responsible for editing the page. When I click this one, this corresponds to editing or modifying this area, this page. If I will click this one, actually we have a hint here, means create page. If we want to create a page of our own, We will do that later in a separate video. Now, very significant, if you can see the gear sign here, this represents as the tool. When you click this, we will be given an array of so many options, array of options. Now, if this is very powerful in the sense that if we want to manipulate a large portion of this, in the different portions of this, the actions to be taken can be found here. Like for example, of course, since this is an example, I mean this is a template, it doesn't mean that we are going to adopt these options here. We are going to change this according to the kind of website that we're going to build. So to do that, there is here what we call edit edit site layout. When I do this, you would notice that when I position my mouse here, it behaves differently than before. Perhaps you didn't notice, so let me close this first, meaning I cancel that edit command. You notice that if I'm going to position my mouse here, it will turn into what? A pointing finger, meaning this is a clickable link. If I'm going to click that, the contents will be displayed here, and then several extra credit. Then the content of that will be displayed here, meaning they are active. They are active. But if I'm going to invoke the edit site layout, it will behave differently. So meaning if I click here, it does not tell Google to display the content. Rather, it tells Google that display the editing mode of this particular area. So this is it. So you would see that there's a Mrs. Smith's classroom here, title, right? Exactly this one. So we can actually change this according to your liking, like uh, MIS class, MIS class. Then you will also see some items like home, homework, assignments, extra credit, and contact me. They are actually these options here, each of which is actually a type of a page. A type of a page. So predefined page, as what I've said earlier, because we are using a template. Later, we will create our own page. If we create our own page and we would like it to appear in this particular section, the best thing or the only thing that we can do is just click add page. I will be demonstrating a separate video. I will be having a separate video to how to actually add a page here. For the meantime, I'm just telling you that if you want to change the if you want to make modifications in this area, uh, what we only did was we went to wait we went to this gear, the setup button, and then we go to edit site layout so that we can be able to change that. So when I click this, it corresponds to this section, Mrs. Smith's classroom. If I click here, the Meet Your Teacher, it will also be in that section. So I can change this. I can even change the picture. I can click this and then delete or perform X. And then later, if I want to insert my own picture, I just simply to invoke the insert button and insert image and look for my picture so that this picture will be replaced. So I will be also demonstrating a separate video. I will be also dedicating a separate video to demonstrate that. Okay, so okay, just for a try, when I click this portion and if I want to add a page, I will just have to click add page. Now, what happens what happens when I do that? Google site actually showed us the entire content of this website. It is called sitemap. So these are all the predefined, I mean, the layout, the contents and the layout of this website. So you can see the about me page. There's also class announcements. When I you will see this plus sign here that will notify us telling us that there's a sub item on that. When I click this, you will see that reminder of field trip next week, reminder. These are all sub pages of this particular page, class announcements. Now we have calendar. We have also homework assignments with homework for week October 11, 18, 25th. Then student of the month. So Jando, this is actually appeared in the as a headline in our website. Poll, reading list, word of the week. We have this. So basically, these are the content. Meaning, every time we create a new page, it will be placed here. Sorry, I just have to collapse it. It will be placed here. So any of this, we have options actually to do it, whether we are going to add the page in line with this top level or as a subset of a particular existing site. So again, later as we create a new page, we will have experience it, and I will demonstrate to you how to actually save a particular page and where we should locate it. So for now, I'm just telling you that if we want to add a page in a particular portion here, there's a link add page that we can invoke, and then we will look for that page. If we like, if say for example, if it is home, if it's like home, just simply click it and okay. When we invoke it, okay, home will be added here also, but we don't have to do it now. Okay, I just have to press cancel. And then if granting we did a modification with a lot of modification and we wanted to commit it, so if I say commit, meaning we say yes and we want to get back into its original field, so let's just have to click close or escape. Click close. So you will notice that when we position our mouse here, it behaves naturally. It's natural behavior. We can click the option and display its content here. So for now, that would be my demonstration in this third video.